If you want to know which developer career path fits you best and also pays well, then this video will help you to decide. We'll cover the 4 main developer career options, their salaries, pros and cons of each, so that you can pick the right one for you. And I worked with most of these positions, so I will share my insights and favorites to help you decide which one to choose. Let's dive in. But before choosing your career path, I think it makes sense to first identify your goals. What are you trying to achieve? Financial, time or location freedom. If you're a bit ahead in your career, like you're a senior or intermediate developer, then you'll be able to achieve all of these 3. But if you're getting started from zero, then you should pick one of these to optimize for that. And in all of these career path options, I will be referring back to this. If your goal is to optimize for financial freedom, then it might be a good fit for you to go with FANG companies. Or if your goal is to achieve location and time freedom, then it might be better to optimize for freelancing route or for entrepreneurship. So we'll be referring back to this to understand which one is the best fit for you. Let's start with freelancing. The first advantage of freelancing is that you have flexible schedule, meaning you don't have too many meetings with the client and you usually get assigned the task for the week or for the month, and then you can do the task whenever it works best for you at your preferred time. The next advantage is that you can choose your own projects. You can choose the tech stack of the applications that you're going to work on and also the ideas. So if one of the projects doesn't seem that interesting to you, you can choose to not accept it if you have too many options of clients, and you can go with the projects that you are interested in building and also the tech stack aligns with your tech stack. And the third advantage is that you can reach to unlimited earning potential if you scale this properly. If you manage to build good reputation on the freelancing platform, you can charge more for the same kinds of projects and you can take more clients and scale it infinitely. But now let's come to the downsides. It is more work compared to full-time. You simply won't get paid until you complete the project. Now sometimes this can be agreement per hour. But in these cases, the client will be tracking you or your screens to make sure that you are working all the time. So you will be doing more work compared to full-time, especially in the beginning. The second disadvantage is that you have income instability. You get the client, let's say, for this month, but then the contract ends and you provide the project. You basically have to go back and hunt for another client and get the next project. Otherwise, you won't have the stable income for the next month. And the third disadvantage is that you need to market yourself, so you also need some marketing and sales skills here to be able to close clients and assure them that you are the best fit for this kind of project. Freelancing route offers you time and location freedom, but it can be unpredictable financially in the beginning. But once you build your reputation on the platform and you will start getting constant clients, then you will also get the financial predictability. So you will be able to achieve all of 3: time, location and financial freedom. As for the salary range, we have 70k per year global average for remote freelancer salaries. And the reason it's this low is because you have the average of all the developers in freelancing platforms. So if you have someone who's earning $1,000 a month or someone who's making 10k a month, all of them are calculated towards this average. That's why you have this low number. But in reality, this can get much more than this if you scale properly and build your reputation in the freelancing platform. But either way, you can check out the arc.dev website and here you can check the area of your case. For example, in America, you can see this is much higher, like 96k. In Latin America, you have for Asia, for Western Europe, and so on. And for the platform, I would suggest you start with the Upwork or Fiverr and then later try to apply to TopTal if you want to get better paying clients and overall better clients and projects. Next, we have the full-time roles, and these can be categorized into 3 main subcategories. The first one is startups. In case of startups, you have big growth potential and you are doing mostly innovative work, so it's mostly new projects that you are working with cutting-edge tech. But the downside is that it's less stable, and also based on statistics, 90% of startups fail. And this is because most of the startups get investments to show some results, like they have some deadline where they need to show some features of the application or they need to show some user growth. And in most of the cases, they are failing to show these results. That's why most of them fail, because they are not able to fulfill their promises. So the advantage here will be that they will be willing to pay you more because they are getting investments and they need to show growth to these investors. But it can be unpredictable because it can fail and you need to start job hunting again after this startup fails. Next we have FANG companies. They come with high pay salary and also benefits, and it's also prestige if you put it on your resume. This will help you in your future applications. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone who works at FANG is a genius developer, but at least that's how recruiters think about it. And if you put this on your resume, then you will at least pass the first screening interview. The downside here is that you have slower career growth because you mostly work on one tiny part of this application. Let's say if you work at Google, you may work on only at comments section for YouTube, which is a very tiny area of development. So in most cases, you're working on tiny parts of the application and you're missing the full end-to-end flow on how to build applications from scratch. And the third disadvantage is you mainly don't get the location and time freedom. Most of the FANG companies require you to work there on site, or even if it's not on site, you have fixed schedule, fixed time that you have to work on. So you can't really choose to work whenever or wherever you want with FANG companies. The third option is outstaff and outsourcing companies. These are companies that get clients and provide you as a partner. So they have these partner companies who are looking for developers and they link you with these partner companies by also earning some commission in between. The good thing here is that it's easier to scale if you get more senior in your role and now you're able to handle more clients. You can ask that outstaffing or outsourcing company to provide you more clients and you will be paid double or triple of the salary that you are being paid. So in all cases of these full-time roles, most of the times they offer the financial freedom and also time and location freedom, although this is in most cases not with FANG companies. And for the salary range, the average is from 100 to 170k per year. And it's based on Glassdoor if you apply for remote developer salaries. But if you want, you can also select here your area and see how much is this in your area. But if you're applying for remote positions, then this is the range. The third career path is contracting. The pros of this is that you have flexible work arrangements, meaning you don't have too many meetings here and you're mostly free to choose when you want to work on these projects. And you're also able to charge high hourly rates, typically more than a full-time role. And it's highly scalable, meaning that similar to outstaffing companies, you can take 2 or more clients, and if you're able to handle them, then you will get basically 2 or 3 times more of the salary. The downside is that it comes with no benefits because you're not a full-time employee. This means that you're not getting the benefits like healthcare packages and all of that stuff. And these roles are mostly temporary. The contracting roles that I've seen are mostly either 3 months, 6 months, or the highest that I've seen is 12 months contracts. And after the contract time ends, they might decide to terminate the contract or they might renew it for another, let's say, 3 months, which means that it's not that predictable, but because of that you are getting high hourly rates because you are doing contracting directly with the company. But in case of contracting, it offers you all of the free benefits, financial, time, and location freedom. You usually have minimal meetings with the client. You have the financial freedom because you are getting paid a lot with contracting. And you also have the time freedom because you are able to choose when you want to work on the project. For the salary range that I was able to find, it's 130k per year. But I personally think that this is much higher than the full-time roles. But this is the salary range based on these statistics. And now coming to the final and fourth career path, it's entrepreneurship. And in my opinion, software engineering is the closest thing to entrepreneurship. The reason is that you're learning problem solving and you're also learning how to code, which makes you capable to turn any idea that you might have in the future to turn them into products or software as a service, SaaS products. And also, while working as a developer, it gives you the financial and time freedom to focus on building side projects. For example, if you work as a doctor, let's say, you get the financial freedom because you are earning high salary, but you don't get the time freedom to think about your side projects or ideas that you want to build. Or if you work for some other job which is low paying, but you're getting the time freedom, then you don't have the financial freedom to focus on building these projects in the long run. But software engineering gives you both financial and time freedom, which lets you to focus on building side projects. So coming to entrepreneurship route, the pros here is that you have unlimited potential. You can scale it to as much as you can. You have full control over your schedule, also over the tech stack that you're going to build this up, so full control over everything. And the income is highly scalable. But it comes with many cons. For example, it comes with high risk that this will not work out. As most of the startups, if you are not willing to put into effort into it, then it has high chances of not working out. And it's also demanding a lot of workload from you. You might work even more on your side project than on the full-time job that you're working. And in the beginning, this will be financially uncertain. You might launch your product and most likely you won't get paid anything in the beginning months of your product. And that's why so few developers eventually decide to turn into entrepreneurship. But if you can make this work, it can be very rewarding. Now for the salary range, this isn't salary anymore. It's mainly your income as an entrepreneur. That's why we don't have too many statistics on this. But you can find examples of entrepreneurs who are developers. For example, we have Mark Liu, who made all of his projects public, so you can see all of the Stripe payments of his startups. And as you can see, for the recent ones, he's making like 75k a month or 30k a month. And in total together, this is more than 100k a month. And we have many other examples than him. This is just one example. Now you might be thinking, which one should you choose as your first developer career path or as your next developer career path? As you saw, each path has its pros and cons. You should align your career with the desired lifestyle that you want to have. And you can refer to the first diagram, which is choosing between location, time, and financial freedom, and decide which one of these is the most important for you right now. Start optimizing for that one, and then later you can optimize for all three and have all time, location, and financial freedom. In my opinion, if you're just getting started, then freelancing or full-time roles should be the easiest for you to enter as your first developer job. Then later in your career, you can consider doing either contracting roles or these outstaff companies to scale it even more. And eventually you can think about transitioning into entrepreneurship to have the scalable income and also work on your own ideas.